So I've been thinking a lot about what is like the one main thing that's got me to this point right now. I moved back home from my family. I got into dopamine detoxing, quit all the bad habits pretty much instantly. Drug use, snacking and shit. Constant hours on YouTube, video games, Netflix. I haven't played 1 second of video games. I haven't watched 1 second of movies. I've watched one episode of Malcolm in the Middle because I was like thinking that it was going to be productive to watch it at night time so I fall asleep faster, but it was like conscious control. I've watched half an hour of essentially TV in the last 2 years. What's got me to this point where I've built this level of success, which is too much success for the type of person that I am. Like I'm a dumbass, 100%. I'm not a hard worker. I'm not like better than you in any sense. I probably haven't had like a better life. I've got fucking PTSD. I can't sleep properly and shit. Like I shouldn't be here, right? I shouldn't have had this level of success. I shouldn't have this body. I shouldn't have this business. I shouldn't be making 3, 4, 5, 6 times what doctors in my countries make. So why am I here? There's really just a couple of things. There are habits, routine, and simply just doing the right things for your goal. So most people, we'll start with the third one, right? Doing the right things for your goal. I'll cover this very quickly. Most people have the goal of like wealth and freedom and happiness and everything, but the thing is like they don't even look at research at all. Most people are so ignorant to the facts that they'll still be thinking that like becoming a doctor or like a physician or whatever bullshit, like finance and software and stuff, they still think that those are like good careers to get into, that those are like high paying careers, and they are in a sense. But they are so oblivious to the fact that TikTok little girls, like little thoughts, make more money than doctors these days. They're so oblivious to the fact that some random guy can start a YouTube channel like I did. Yeah, fair enough, get lucky in a sense that YouTube showed his video and he gets like 100, like a million views and everything. And then now I'm passively making more than what people who work 80 hours a week make, and I work about 5 hours a week. Really, to start off, you've got to stop being ignorant. If you want to know like the superpower of how I got here, stop being ignorant. Start getting educated for exactly what you want, and be completely honest. Fuck this like little lie and sugarcoat that people have of like, I don't want to get too big, I don't want to make too much money. Fuck you. Like, you would love to. It's just that you've got this like little self-deprecating personality where you don't even think you're worth that much. That's what you've got to fix first of all. That's like step 0 here, that you don't think you're worth like the level of success that you actually truly want, and so you keep that like buried deep inside of you. But you need to start opening up your mind to see what's possible. And I'm so grateful and lucky to have stumbled upon 2 books that I've mentioned so many times when I was a complete dumbass. I literally just graduated with a shitty degree, working a shitty job, you know my story. And the 2 books were The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. That's The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And the second book was The Millionaire Fast Lane by MJ DeMarco. That's The Millionaire Fast Lane by MJ DeMarco. I'm not going to link the books, just go find them. Those 2 books just opened up my mind because they were made by people who are like very, very abnormal. These people, these 2 guys, these authors, made these books completely criticizing normal, ordinary life of like working, being a good boy, getting good grades, and then getting a good job and leveling up in the job, and then just like saving as much money you can, and then 65 and retire. Yes, freedom. I've got Parkinson's disease and I'm about to die and I'm old, but at least I've got money that now I can live my life. These 2 guys fully roasted the fuck out of that life, saying it was like the deferred life plan. Saying that those guys were like the sidewalkers, that they're slow. And I'm reading these books and my mind's starting to open up. It's like I took mushrooms in a sense. Like I didn't actually, but like it's almost like a psychedelic experience when you like get educated on something that feels really important and something clicks inside of you to show like, fuck, like everyone's just stupid. Everyone's just doing the wrong thing. And of course, I always have to give a disclaimer if someone's going through the normal path of like university and career because they really feel a sense of fulfillment from like being the doctor. Okay, fair enough. But the thing is, you'd have to lie to say that most people aren't actually pursuing a career almost entirely just for money. That's the complete truth. It's like money's the main thing, and then it's the sense of like, oh, and I'll actually be helping people. But money's the one of the biggest motivators that there is in this modern day because people are so materialistic and so dependent on it. And these 2 authors just opened up my mind to show that there is such a way more effective and efficient way to make this amount of money. And so I followed exactly what they said. So that's step one. Like that's like the first sort of thing we just had to discuss is like you just need to be educated on like your goal, like the best way to achieve your goal. You want to make a good amount of like money, you want to, you know, make a living in this world. Well, go and research how people do it 100 times better than how the average person does it. Why would you like follow the same structure that most people do? It has to be average. It has to be just basic. It has to be just like just normal. And normal isn't like a good life to have. But the other two are just routine and habits. And I'm not gonna lie, like it took me a while. I've said this multiple times. Like I'm a dumbass in a certain sense that like it takes me a while to learn something. So I'll have to go out into the real world. This is how like my channel and my videos work. I'll come to understand or stumble upon a new concept like habits or meditation or whatever, and I'll go and try it, and like, you know, I'll try and like make it work for me by reading some stuff and whatever. And a lot of the times it takes me a while. It takes me months, weeks, longer. It's taken me 1.5 years to realize that like routine and habits are important. So, and then of course, like, you know, I come back and I like draft it all up in my mind, write a script, and essentially I try and teach you guys how to get to where I am 10 times faster. When I coach people, this isn't like a call to action to my coaching or anything, like, but when I do coach people, they end up making more progress in 2 weeks than I do in like 3 to 4 months, because when they're going through something, I've already went through it. And instead of them having to read a book about it or like having to like, you know, find out something, I tell them there and then, okay, oh yeah, this is the thing that you need to do. And they're like, oh yeah, there you go. Just saved them like 3 weeks straight. That's a side note anyway, but it's taken me since I've gotten into self-improvement in May 2020 till now to realize the importance of routine, especially. Now, habits, like I've always kind of known habits are good. You know, the habit of meditation and cold showers and going to the gym is awesome. But routine, I will describe, maybe some persons like made a dictionary definition of it or something, but my description or my definition of routine is simply just doing habits at the same time every single day in the same way. So a habit is just something that you do pretty often. So for example, if you go to the gym 3 times a week, that's a habit. If you know, brush your teeth every day, that's a habit, right? But routine is brushing your teeth before the same action every day and also after the same action every day. So a habit is just simply you brush your teeth twice per day, once in the morning, once at the night time, or you know, you just brush your teeth. A routine is like specifically when do you brush your teeth? What do you do before you brush your teeth? What do you do after? You keep it all the same. When your day becomes a routine, you make faster progress than anyone else that you'll know, probably that you'll ever know. Let me say that again. When your day becomes a routine, your day, I'm not talking about morning routine, nighttime routine. Imagine this is a normal person's day. It's just fucking everywhere. This is the structured day of a person on self-improvement. Here's the morning routine, here's the nighttime routine. A bunch of here is like just trash. Sometimes they'll go to the gym and everything, but then they waste like 4 hours on YouTube and like they go to bed. Sometimes they've got the nighttime routine, sometimes they don't, and they go to bed just like doing weird shit, right? The true success of self-improvement and working hard and like monk-like discipline comes when you start with the morning routine and a nighttime routine, and you just start extending these routines till eventually your entire day is a routine. You wake up at the same time, you do the same actions every single day. And of course, obviously, sometimes you have to change like the task that you do. So like I'll work at the same time, but of course I'll one day I'll script videos, one day I'll record videos, whatever. And sometimes, yeah, of course, life gets in the way and everything. But it is specifically the routine that counters procrastination. When I'm out of my routine, if I wake up late, if I go out the night before, if I, you know, for whatever reason, I'm out of my routine, I'm a normal guy. I'm a completely normal, average type of person. I have a normal, average day. When I'm off my routine, I'll wake up late. I won't be feeling super motivated. Maybe I'll go to the gym. Maybe I'll skip it. Maybe I'll probably eat like worse food. I'll end up spending an hour just on fucking Instagram, even though I hate that shit. I'll end up just fucking around, sat on Discord, just wasting time. And by the time it gets to nighttime, it's like I've done nothing productive. I'm still a normal guy. But then on the day of my routine, I wake up at 5 a.m. I do my morning routine. I do like 20 minutes of meditation, cold showers, gratitude journaling, visualization, deep work. I get like a good amount of work done. I go to the gym, sauna, social skills, social flow, approaching people and everything. I come back, do more work, read, journal, do some like stuff on like Discord, like to give a lecture out and everything. And like that's a productive ass fucking day. That's like a top tier productive day. Like I don't do like unproductive things in my day. I don't sit around and watch YouTube. I don't watch movies. I don't play video games. And I like, honestly, like I have a fucking sick day. This is like, it's really hard for me to come off my routine sometimes because it's like, I actually really like my routine. So even if there's the chance to like do something fun, it's like usually just barely about as fun as like my actual routine is anyway. That's like a secret tip that I've never really said, is just make your routine just fun as fuck. Like do it in the way that you actually think like you would love to live that day. And I can still to this day, like, you know, days will pass, like I've got the trackers on the wall there, where if I haven't followed the routine, I'm completely like the average person who just procrastinates and doesn't do much work, who's not that disciplined. I'm honestly like that. Like if I'm off the routine, I'm still like that normal person. I'm telling you, this is probably why you're still like that normal person, even though you've been like watching self-improvement videos, you've been making a change. It's simply because you allow yourself too much flexibility and like sort of freedom in your schedule. You think it's a good thing and it seems so awesome that you can decide what to do and you don't want to work just yet. That's the biggest sacrifice to your productivity. That's the biggest sacrifice to your discipline. Imagine in school or in the military, they say to everyone, okay, do what you want. Whenever you want. Well, that would be stupid. Now my camera's gonna die. BRB. Mwah. All hell would break loose. Imagine telling some like kids or some like grunts in the army that they can do whatever they want, whenever they want. That's how you're living life. For so long, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. For so long, specifically what held me back was the fact that I was simply not doing any work at home. I was going to work, you know, my actual job. And the idea was that if I could just set up some like passive income from like a side hustle, I'd be able to like quit my job easier. I was motivated, bro. Honestly, I felt like somewhat disciplined in a sense, like, you know, I was waking up early, I was like really wanted to do this shit. And I just never ended up getting a good amount of work done. I would literally have this dream of wanting to like be an entrepreneur, of wanting to be productive. I would want to do it. I tried to do it. It would just never be a good amount of work. I've got 2 full journals critiquing myself of this. Like there was 2 things during this entire time of me just thinking, okay, I've got to leave. I've got to like just move back home to my fucking mummy and daddy's house just so I can have a routine, because I'm living with the girl right now and it's just so hard to like have a consistent structured routine right now. Like we're staying up late, we're taking drugs and everything, like. And I had this wish. I'm a social person. I really value like social experiences, being around people. I had this wish that I could just be locked into like a box, like a big room with obviously like everything I need for like weeks, months. And I knew for a fact that like if I had that type of environment where I was just locked in, my routine would be set. I would be doing the same things at the same time every single day, and I would step out of that box, like that lifestyle, with the success that I wanted, being an entrepreneur. That's exactly what happened. I moved back home to my parents' house, lived like I'm literally living in a fucking box, didn't do social things, didn't like step outside much apart from going to the gym and training and stuff. And I just did the same things at the same time every day. A lot of people criticized me for it. I'd show them, like I tried to help people. This was before I was even making any money from this or anything. I was literally just, at this point, my sort of purpose was literally just documenting just like the progress I'd made in self-improvement from being someone who just like was a master procrastinator to actually someone who's being disciplined and productive. And I tried to like help people by showing them, okay, this is exactly what I did. I wrote down exactly what I would do at the same time every single day, and people fucking swore at me. People said like it was stupid, that I was killing myself, that like that I wasn't leaving enough time for like pleasure or anything, that like they wouldn't be able to do it because their days changed. Like I was thinking, well, you are a little bitch. I can't have a routine because my day changes. Like, you think mine doesn't. You think life doesn't come up to me. You think like my mum doesn't ask me to like take the shopping outside or take the bins outside and something disrupts my work. Of course it does, bro. Of course sometimes I sleep a little bit late. The idea is like the routine that you set is like the perfect day that you just try and follow. And if you hit that perfect day for 50% of the day, that's probably a lot better than your normal days. And that's 50% of you following it. That's you messing up for like fucking 12 hours of the day, and it's still better than your normal day as long as you just had a routine to fall back onto. People think that this idea of having like a flexible work hour and stuff is a good thing. No, it's not. If you're not doing the same things at the same time every day, I'm telling you right now, you're not growing anywhere near as much as you could do. Now, fair enough, you might value something else. You might value today's pleasure over tomorrow's growth. You're nothing like me. Chances are you're getting offended at what I've just said because you actually are like me. You want tomorrow's growth, but you've held this like perception that you should be able to like work whenever you want and like, you know, work into the night and stuff and like not have a bedtime and shit. Fuck, what the fuck is that? You want to grow, you go to sleep at the same time every single day. You turn your computer off at the same time every single day. You turn it on at the same time every day. You wake up at the same time every day. And this is where it gets interesting, because the last sentence I just said, you wake up at the same time every day. What if you get a bad night of sleep? What if you go out, you do something social, right? You would think, like, I value sleep, and I've seen the research. If you've seen the research, you know how important it is. I've literally paid for a fucking $300 sleep tracker here. That being said, I literally know which day leaves me better. The day where I've slept late, so I just end up sleeping late and just trying to see how much I do. Or the day where I slept late, but I just wake up at the same time, somewhat like sleep deprived in the sense, like I usually wake up, let's say, at like 5:30. On this day, both days I've went to bed at like 12 instead of like 7:30 because, of like social situation or whatever it is, or I couldn't sleep for a little bit. This is the day that you wake up late, so you wake up at like 8:30 instead, and you try and do what you can. Or this is the day you still wake up at 5:30. I'm telling you right now, I've been through this solid 25, 30 times. I'm telling you right now, this is the better choice. Never ever sacrifice your sleep if you can manage it. But if you are gonna mess up your routine, like if your sleep is gonna be delayed or anything, I have done it so many times where I've chose this, going through with the day. I've explained this in a weird way, so you might be thinking that I've chosen sleep. No. What I'm saying is, like, wake up at the same time. Choose routine over sleep. You know why? Because the day that you allow flexibility and like the ability to like wake up late, your entire day gets thrown off course. And I know that you think you're a productivity expert and you'll be able to just wake up late and fit everything in. No, you won't. At least I can't, right? Maybe you're better than me or something, but I can't. Because the day I wake up late and you've already messed up your routine, but then there's things that in the beginning of the day that you needed to do, but you've got to do them now, it fucks everything up. And you end up having like a worse day than if you just took the L, lost the sleep with the sense of like, yep, I lost sleep because of the social experience. And then you go through the routine as is normal. The good thing with this one is that then by the time of your bedtime, you're really, really sleepy. You go to sleep maybe a little bit earlier than like as possible if you needed to, but even if you go to sleep at the same time, you'll fall asleep faster. You'll get like good amount of like rejuvenating sleep, and you'll be pretty much good in it again. The research says that's not the truth. Research says that a bad night of sleep affects you for like 2 weeks afterwards. At least from personal experience, this is the better option. Routine is more important than sleep, and sleep is like the fundamental part of life, but this routine gets you to good sleep again. This is how people have such fucked up sleeping patterns, because they choose this option. They choose this option of like, I need my sleep. And the thing is, you do, like, again, like I'm like on thin ice here, because I completely agree with the fact that sleep is absolutely vital. If you sacrifice sleep, you're a fucking moron. If you sacrifice sleep for pleasure, if you sacrifice sleep to fucking stay up late on your fucking computer to watch fucking UFC or like to play video games or some bullshit, like that's stupid. To sacrifice your sleep for a social situation with friends is probably a good use of like a sacrifice in a sense. But when you choose this option to allow your routine to be disturbed, even with the huge benefit of getting more sleep that night, this disturbs you even more, because then your routine for the next day, not only for your productivity and for going to the gym and all the other things that you were going to do is messed up, but then the time that you go to sleep is also messed up, because now your wake up and your nighttime times are inconsistent. You're no longer in routine. You woke up 3 hours later. It's time for bed, your usual bedtime, but because you woke up 3 hours later, you're not really sleepy right now. So you stay up a little bit later. You stay up for an extra 45 minutes. You're feeling a little bit sleepy, so you finally go to bed. It takes you like 20 minutes to fall asleep. You went to sleep a whole hour later than what you normally would have. The next day, you're sleep deprived. Even if you wake up, if you go back to the routine the next day, you're sleep deprived. So then what do you do? Well, you could extend the routine again, the bedtime, like the wake up time the next day. And at this point, you're completely just off your routine, but you manage to get the extra hours. Then this option on that one day that you mess up your sleeping pattern. You prioritize your routine above everything else, and you'll get back on track with everything else way faster. This is the hidden superpower. A lot of people have asked me like a bunch of questions, like how am I so disciplined? What's your guide on like monk-like discipline? There's nothing special, there's nothing motivational, there's nothing else. Just do the same things at the same time every single day if possible. And of course, you'll mess up a lot of times. Of course, life will throw some shit at you. You'll have to do some stuff. You'll have to help your mum. Of course you will. The amount of guys who've gave me that excuse that they can't take my advice here because their day-to-day changes. Like, oh, but sometimes Hamza, I'm in university at 10 a.m. Like, what the fuck? Like, so you can't just set like a little like range, work from 10 to like 2 p.m. or something? Because when people make excuses for this, it's not like they say like, oh, you know, like it'll be a little bit difficult because my day changes, so you know I'll have to like allocate time for that. They just simply like shrug their shoulders, say, nope, couldn't do it, Hamza, and then they go back to the same bullshit of like not having a routine and still procrastinating. Like, if you're one of those guys who have never, like, you've never really been like productive as you've wanted to be, you've, you know, done the work when you absolutely needed and you had like deadlines and everything. But if you've been like me for when I was a bit younger, and you had never done the amount of work that you actually felt like you were capable to do, then clearly right now in your brain does not contain the answers. Does that make sense? If you've never achieved the work rate that you've wanted and the productivity that you've wanted, your brain does not contain the right answers. So stop trusting your brain. You've trusted your brain for so long, and look where it's got you. Now, if you are at a position in life where you love it and you've like, you know, you've done really well for yourself, okay, fair enough, trust your brain. But chances are, like, a lot of guys aren't at that position where they feel like they've been productive and they've worked hard and they've been disciplined. And you keep trusting your brain over someone else who's actually done the work for you. This is like a level of humility that a lot of young guys don't have. I'm telling you right now that this is the thing that set me apart from like my competition and like other young guys around me. I do the same things at the same time every day, no matter how I feel, no matter like if I've lost a little bit of sleep or anything, I just do it. Now, again, some dumbass says, oh, but Hamza, there's benefits of sleep. Like, this is what sets me apart. I'm so grateful, and it's taken me a while to realize this. It's taken me so long to finally just put it into words that it's routine and it's just habits. That's like the secret superpower of self-improvement. Just routine and habits, routine and habits. Learn how to build habits. Read Atomic Habits by James Clear. That's Atomic Habits by James Clear. Read that book and learn to build habits. It's like, it's easier than it sounds, but honestly, you don't even need to think about habits if you think about routine, because if you focus on routine, you automatically build habits. A habit is like a low-level routine. A habit is literally just one thing that you do quite consistently. A routine is like you do that thing along with 100 different things at the same time every single day. You focus on the routine, you automatically build the habit. And the best way to focus on the routine way faster than any other method you could think of is quite simply just sit down, write up a day-to-day timetable, like a daily timetable which you don't change. Here's mine. I'm not going to have it up on screen because I don't edit these videos, but like, I'll just show you what mine kind of looks like. It's literally just the iPhone notes documents. You can pause it if you want to see, like, and that's just how I've structured it. I do the same things at the same time every day. 5:30 to 6, wake up. 6 to 6:20, get ready. 6:20 to 7, 20 minutes of meditation and read. 7 to 9, deep work. 9 to 9:30, get ready for the gym and get to the gym. 9:30 to 11, lift. 11 to 11:45, yoga. So of course there's like, I don't do yoga every day, but I've got the block for it there. So on the day that I don't have yoga, of course I'll end up coming home like 45 minutes early. And it's like, you've got to know that that's okay. The idea is like, this is like my perfect day. People see this and they're like, nope, I couldn't do it, so they don't do it. But it's like, if I follow this for like 50, 60, 70% of the day, that's a fucking awesome day. So it's like, I've adjusted for some things that might not happen. I've gave myself extra time in certain situations. I've wrote yoga, but like some days I won't have yoga. I've wrote kickboxing, but some days I won't have kickboxing. So for example, 5:15 to 8 is read or kickboxing. So on the days where I have it's fucking common sense, but so many guys get pissed off when like they don't understand how to use it. On the days where I have kickboxing, I've got to kickboxing. On the days that I don't have kickboxing, I'll just read. This, what you're seeing right now, I know that this is kind of like anticlimactic because I'm literally showing you like, you know, the veil's been revealed. This is why I've made success. This is why I've literally like done so much in the last year. This page, I'm being honest, like forget everything else, like this page. Just, I made a timetable, I look at this page as often as I can, I just constantly read it, and I try and follow it as best as I can. That's simply it. And it is currently 5:59 p.m. It's time for me to read. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.